As winter fades and the first blooms of spring emerge, it's time to refresh our homes with warmth, nostalgia, and the inviting charm of vintage farmhouse decor. Spring is the season of renewal, and what better way to celebrate than by curating a home filled with rustic textures, delicate florals, and antique-inspired treasures. Whether you're a lover of soft pastels, distressed wood, or cozy cottage aesthetics, this guide will inspire you with 24 vintage farmhouse decor ideas to welcome the season with style. Get ready to transform your space into a springtime haven that radiates charm and character. One of the hallmarks of vintage farmhouse decor is the use of weathered wood and distressed finishes. Spring is the perfect time to introduce rustic wooden elements that tell a story of time-worn elegance. Consider adding a reclaimed barnwood mantel to your fireplace, a set of antique wooden crates for storage, or a charming distressed farmhouse table as the centerpiece of your dining area. Whitewashed finishes and soft, faded tones create a lived-in, cozy feel that pairs beautifully with the fresh blooms of the season. These pieces add authenticity and warmth to any spring-inspired space. Nothing says spring quite like an arrangement of fresh flowers in a vintage-inspired vessel. Bring the beauty of nature indoors by displaying wildflowers, tulips, or peonies in antique pitchers, mason jars, or distressed metal milk jugs. Mixing dried lavender with fresh eucalyptus creates a romantic, timeless look that exudes vintage charm. For a touch of farmhouse elegance, repurpose an old wooden toolbox or a galvanized bucket as a unique floral centerpiece. These simple yet striking arrangements infuse your home with color, fragrance, and the essence of a countryside retreat. Spring is the perfect time to swap out heavy winter fabrics for light and airy textiles that capture the essence of farmhouse living. Think soft gingham tablecloths, delicate lace curtains, and vintage-inspired floral cushions that add both comfort and character. A quilted throw draped over a rustic bench or a ruffled linen runner across your dining table brings a sense of nostalgia and handmade charm. These fabrics not only enhance the aesthetic of your space but also create a warm and inviting atmosphere, perfect for celebrating the season of renewal. First impressions matter, and your front door sets the tone for your home's seasonal decor. A handcrafted vintage-style wreath is a beautiful way to welcome spring guests. Opt for natural materials like grapevine, dried flowers, and burlap for an authentic farmhouse look. A wreath made from cotton stems, eucalyptus, or baby's breath adds a rustic yet elegant touch. For an extra farmhouse twist, hang a distressed wooden sign with a cheerful spring greeting or an antique watering can filled with fresh blooms. These charming details create a warm, welcoming entrance full of seasonal spirit. One of the most delightful aspects of vintage farmhouse decor is the art of repurposing old treasures into something new. Spring is the perfect time to get creative with flea market finds and antique store gems. Transform an old wooden ladder into a rustic plant stand, use vintage bird cages as decorative lanterns, or repurpose an antique window frame as wall art. An old-fashioned galvanized tub can become a charming planter for a garden-inspired centerpiece. These thoughtful touches not only add character to your home but also breathe new life into forgotten pieces with a fresh, springtime twist. Spring is a season of togetherness, and what better way to celebrate than with a beautifully styled farmhouse table? Layer your table with a vintage linen runner, antique china, and delicate floral napkins for an inviting and timeless look. Mix and match classic white dishes with weathered wooden chargers and add vintage silverware for an extra touch of charm. A centerpiece of fresh spring blooms in an old ceramic pitcher or a wooden dough bowl filled with moss and candles will create a cozy, welcoming atmosphere perfect for Easter brunch or a casual family gathering. Pastel hues are synonymous with spring, and incorporating them into your vintage farmhouse decor can instantly refresh your space. Soft blush pinks, muted sage greens, and gentle sky blues blend seamlessly with rustic textures and distressed finishes. Consider painting an old wooden chair in a dreamy pastel shade or adding a vintage-inspired pastel quilt to your bedroom. Subtle pops of color through antique glass bottles, ceramic dishes, or hand-painted signs can brighten up a space without overpowering its rustic charm. These delicate touches bring a breath of fresh air into your spring home. Spring is all about embracing nature, so why not bring a bit of the outdoors inside? Display potted herbs in vintage tin cans or wooden crates for a kitchen accent that's both functional and beautiful. Hang an antique garden gate on the wall and adorn it with seasonal greenery, or use an old wooden wheelbarrow as a creative planter for fresh flowers. Small touches like bird nests, faux eggs, and botanical prints can add a subtle nod to nature while keeping your decor effortlessly chic. These ideas create a harmonious balance between rustic farmhouse charm and the freshness of spring. Nothing enhances the airy feel of spring decor like a well-placed antique mirror. A distressed white or gold-framed mirror can reflect natural light, making your space feel brighter and more open. Vintage botanical prints, old seed packet advertisements, and farmhouse-style signs featuring uplifting spring quotes add character to your walls. Repurpose an old window frame into a unique wall accent by adding a seasonal wreath or hanging dried flowers. These timeless elements create a nostalgic ambience that celebrates both the beauty of spring and the charm of vintage farmhouse living.